Hello, my name is Jasmine and I'm the Teen Librarian and Teen Volunteer Coordinator at the Lemont Public Library District. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a few titles you can find here at the library for the month of October. At the end, I'll also be telling you about teen programs we're offering and service hour opportunities that you might be interested in. Let's get started. Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. Growing up, Danny couldn't help but follow around the adorable son of her mom's best friend. Funny, kind of nerdy, and a little soft, Alec was always down to hang with Danny when they were little. From playdates on the playground to sneaking into movie theaters, Danny and Alec were inseparable, until Danny moved away. Alec promised they'd stay in touch, except they didn't. Flash forward, and Danny is back in Minnesota for her senior year. She and her mom living with her grandfather. Dealing with the fallout of her parents' devastating divorce, Danny wouldn't mind a nerd out with the cozy and comforting Alec, and maybe a chance to confront him on his MIA status for all these years. But teenage Alec is nothing like the kid Danny remembers. He's a hockey star in a town where hockey players are worshipped as gods. Danny's place as his shadow has been taken up by drooling female fans, and he loves it. Danny is resolved to ice out her former best friend until an unlikely series of events brings them together and forces them to fake being a couple. Once forced together, the former childhood sweethearts begin to reconnect, unearth complicated family secrets, and face their true feelings towards each other, including the real reason Alec has been pushing Danny away all these years. Read-alikes include A First Time for Everything by K.L. Walther and Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Fearful, A Powerless Story by Lauren Roberts. Set during the time of Fearless, a mysterious figure arrives in the kingdom of Isla to witness the fight for the throne and the price it costs those sworn to defend the land. Mara never intended to set foot in Isla again. But when the king makes a life-altering decision, her interest is piqued, and Death is determined to understand Kit Azur's mind if he is destined to join her in the Moors. Spending time with the king while observing the castle's inhabitants reminds Mara that there is more to life than just death. There is love, but even the purest of intentions is pure vengeance and the pursuit of power, and fate will have its way with all of them. To live, to rule, to love, and most certainly to die. Read-alikes include Lightlark by Alex Astor and The Serpent and the Wings of Night, The Nightborn Duet, Book 1 by Clarissa Broadbent. The Sleepless by Jen Williams. Elver is the guardian of the wild and dangerous monster forest. Safe from the brink of death by a god, her skin will poison anyone she touches. Our terror is on a mission, one that takes him face to face with Elver at her most ruthless. But her defenses are useless when she discovers he's the only human impervious to her deadly gift. For Astor isn't human. He's one of the sleepless, cursed to share his body with an evil spirit. Lucian inhabits their body while Astor sleeps, and he is hell-bent on manipulating Elver for his dark purposes. But Elver is harboring secrets too, and she has her own reasons for feigning an alliance with these two souls. Caught in the crossfire of gods, monsters, and a mysterious magic they can barely understand, it is only a matter of time before the paths the three of them choose to take will set alight the very foundations of their world. With a love triangle like you've never seen it, incredible world building, brilliant writing, and a dangerous quest, The Sleepless will have you spellbound. Read-alikes include Dream by the Shadows by Logan Carley and The Art of Exile by Andrea Max. I Killed the King by Rebecca Mix and Andrea Hanna. After a decade of war, the kingdoms of Avondale and Estelia have finally agreed to peace, as nobles and magic wielders from both countries arrive at remote castle, Avondale, for a historic all-night masquerade to celebrate King Costan's marriage. He summons an unlikely group to his chambers. The crown prince, his Estendalian bride-to-be, his personal guard, a wild beast tamer, and the palace's questionable new healer. But before Costas can reveal why he has gathered them, the castle goes dark. When the lights come back, the king is dead, murdered with the princess's knife in a weak spot only his guard knew of, and with venom from one of the beast tamer's monsters lacing the blade, with no clear killer and everyone a suspect, they make a risky pact. Tell no one until the treaty is signed. But when a winter storm seals everyone inside, and everyone aware of the king's untimely death begins to pick off guests one by one, the suspects must work together to discover who killed the king, before one of them is next. Readers include The Lie Tree by Frances Hardinge and Lyre of Dreams by Libby Bray. Hawthorne by C.G. Drews. Evander has lived like a ghost in the forgotten corners of the Hawthorne estate ever since he was taken in by his reclusive billionaire guardian, Byron Lexon Hale. When he was a child, for his safety, Evander has been given 3 ironclad rules to follow. He can never leave the estate, he can never go into the gardens, and most importantly, he can never again be alone with Byron's charming, underachieving grandson, Laurie. That last rule has been in place ever since Laurie tried to kill Evander 7 years ago, and yet somehow Evander is still obsessed with him. When Byron suddenly dies, Evander inherits Hawthorne's immense Gothic mansion and acres of sprawling grounds, along with the entirety of the Lexon Hall family's vast wealth. But Evander's sure his guardian was murdered, and Laurie might be the only one who can help him find the killer before they come for Evander next. Perhaps even more concerning is the overgrown garden is refusing to stay behind its walls, slipping its vines and spores deep into the house with each passing day. As the family's dark secrets unravel alongside the growing horror of their terribly alive, bloodthirsty garden, Evander needs to find out what he's really inheriting before the garden demands to be fed once more. Readers include Where He Can't Find You by Darcy Coates and Our Wicked Histories by Amy Goldsmith. The House of Quiet by Kristen White. In the middle of a deadly bog sits the House of Quiet. It's a place for children whose procedure triggered powers too terrible to be lived with. Their last hope for treatment. No one knows how they're healed or where they go afterward. Birdie has begged, bargained, and blackmailed her way inside as a maid, determined to find her missing sister Magpie. But when she discovers what is more mysterious, instead of the destitute children who undergo the procedure in hopes of social advancement, the house brims with aristocratic teens wielding strange powers they never should have been burdened with. Though Birdie wants to ignore them, she cannot help being drawn to stoic and silent forest, charmed by clever river, and concern for the youngest residents. And with fellow maid Minnow keeping tabs on everything Birdie does, danger is everywhere. In her desperate search for Magpie, Birdie unearths terrifying threats and devastating truths, forcing her to confront just how much she's willing to sacrifice to save her own sister. Because in the House of Quiet, if you find what's lurking beneath, you lose everything. Read-alikes include House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig and Castle of the Cursed by Romina Garber. Make Me a Monster by Kaylin Byron. Mika is used to death. After all, it's the family business. As a newly certified mortician's assistant at her parents' funeral home, her days are not for the faint of heart. Luckily, her boyfriend Noah isn't squeamish, and Mika is finally feeling ready to say the 3 little words that will change everything. But when tragedy strikes and Mika's world is torn apart, nothing makes sense, especially the strange things starting to happen. Ravens are circling her home, strangers are following her, someone is leaving mysterious items at her door, and worst of all, the dead don't seem to be staying dead. Mika thought she understood death better than anyone. Turns out, the family business is a bit more complicated than it seems, and Mika isn't the only one desperate to unearth their secrets, because the truth may be worth dying for. Read-alikes include Early Departure by Justin A. Arnolds, Until the Last Beat of My Heart by Larugan Beaumontes. The Scammer by Tiffany D. Jackson. Out from her overprotective parents, Jordan is ready to kill it in a pre-law at a prestigious, historically black university in Washington, D.C. When her new roommate's brother is released from prison, the last thing Jordan expects is to come home and find the ex-convict on their dorm room sofa. But Devante needs a place to stay while he gets back on his feet, and how could she say no to one of her new best friends? Devante is older, as charming as he is intelligent, pushing every student he meets to make better choices about their young lives. But Jordan senses something sinister beneath his friendly advice and growing group of followers. When one of Jordan's roommates goes missing, she must enlist the help of the university's lone white student to uncover the mystery, or become trapped at the center of the web of lies more tangled than she can imagine. Reader likes includes The Lies We Tell by Katie Zhao and Their Vicious Games by Joel Wellington. On to graphic novels. Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Volume 2 by Masashi Kishimoto. Naruto was a young shinobi with an incorrigible knack for mischief. He achieved his dream to become the greatest ninja in his village, and now his face sits atop the Hokage monument. But this is not his story. The next generation of ninja stands in the swirling vortex of a new ninja age, with Naruto's own son, Boruto, at the center. It's been 3 years since the event that caused Boruto and Kawaki to switch places in the ninja world. As Boruto trains with Sakuki, the Ten Tails undergoes a terrifying transformation into divine tree beings that each have their own consciousness. These new threats against the world must be stopped, but Boruto must first need to survive the ninja of his own village, who now see him as the enemy. Reader likes include Kali, Daughter of the Moon by Soraya Sikakaru, and The World After the Fall by S. Seidman. DCX Sonic the Hedgehog by Ian Flynn. Gotta go fast, Flash. Sonic the Hedgehog's world is under siege by Darkseid. Thankfully, he and his friends have some help, the Justice League. When the evil Darkseid invades Sonic's home in search of the ultimate power, Sonic and his friends find themselves with their backs against the wall and in need of a miracle. Luckily, the Justice League is able to step in and lend their hands. See DC's most iconic characters team up with the most beloved blue hedgehog on the planet against an insurmountable foe. There will be action, adventure, and plenty of chili dogs. Reader likes include Iron Fist by Alyssa Wong and Challengers of the Unknown by Christopher Cantwell. Nonfiction. Do Not Disturb, How to Say No to Your Phone by Brad Marshall and Lindsay Hascock. In Do Not Disturb, Brad Marshall and Lindsay Hascock share cutting-edge insights on how young people can unplug from their phones. Readers will discover the effects that their phone has on their brain and body. They'll find out how to create a relationship with their phone on their terms. They'll even establish simple, healthy screen time habits that stick. Reader likes include Attention Hijacked by Erica B. Marcus and Your Life Your Way by Joseph Siracisi. This fall, for tween and teen programs, we are doing Sinister Cookie Decorating. We're also doing 100 books before graduation, where you can read 100 books before graduating, log them through your Beanstack account, and win prizes on the way to 100. For service hours, we have Teen Volunteer Squad, At Your Service programs, Teen and Tots Lego Adventures, You Don't Look Sus, Stuffy Sleepover Chaperones, and our Character Pen Pal letter writing program, where you can come in, pick up a kit to write letters to children as their favorite character. We also have book reviews and advanced reader book reviews, where you get to read the title after reviewing it. I also make Teen Take and Makes each month if you are looking for a quick craft to complete at home. This month's craft is Vampire Gnomes. If you would like any more information about programs or service hour opportunities, you can contact me at jwilkerson@lamontlibrary.org. Thank you and have a great day.